short.
Right.
Get to it. Okay, so there we go. But I'm glad that you've been here. So let's get to it, honey bun.
Okay.
And okay, all right. We're up actually. So hey Bernadette. Bernadette, how you doing? So hey everybody. Hey. And we are up. Hmm.
And I'm
And
just so you know, we are up and streaming.
okay. Hi everybody. Hi. Gonna be up in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Hey. I'm here with my dear friend Wordsome, also known as Reverend Mark Thompson. We Hey everybody, welcome to the Santita Jackson Show here on AM 950 Radio, the voice of progressive Minnesota. It's a joy to be with you today. We ain't buying it. We're talking about this boycott economic boycott over the Black Friday weekend. Black Friday has started a little early this year because that is where corporations make their money. They go from the red to the black off of your back, on your back. And
Mm.
yet the prices are going up, their profits are going up, and we're not getting a break. We got to talk about that. And we've seen a complete conflation of government and the corporate sectors. And we need to talk about how that is making our lives not prosperous. Think about that. You have corporations involved increasingly in every aspect of our lives. They want to privatize everything. They want to own every piece of the American government. Now, remember this, the American government, the US government, is the largest business in the world. It is larger than the 20 largest American corporations. So you can understand why the oligarchs want to break the government up because the postal service is profitable. Different areas of housing are profitable. They do not want us to have health care, Medicare for all, because you see how much money the health industry makes, the health insurance industry makes, but you see we're going broke even when we have excellent insurance. So something is not right here. And when you look at the Montgomery bus boycott, we can see the economic boycotts matter. They matter. These Black people walked the streets of Montgomery, Alabama, and they did not move. They didn't stop for a year, and they broke the back of segregation ultimately in the country. So, what can you do in 2025? Want to hear what your thoughts are. But first, let me address uh, my father's condition. Many of you have been praying and sending us so much love, and I have to tell you, the prayers of the righteous availeth much. He is no longer in intensive care. Um, it's just miraculous. It's been a blessing. And I want to thank you for all of the love that you've shown us. He wants to go home. He's ready for Thanksgiving. I just talked to him. Less than an hour ago, I was with him at the hospital. He's ready to go home, but he also is calling Reverend Mark Thompson of Make It Plain. He wants 2,000 churches to get 2,000 bags of groceries and give them away. That is something that he has done throughout the holiday season because indeed my father had to stand in one of those lines when he was at seminary at the University of Chicago. He and my mother was working in the library. She'd put my brother Jesse and I down, and then Jonathan down at night. She said, I had to make sure you all were asleep, and then I had to go, earn some extra money. Then my father waited tables all through school, and he was organizing and working. And the money, one Christmas, Mark, it just ran out. And although he was the youth pastor at his church, Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, our home church, Reverend Clay Evans was, although he has made his transition, he will always be our pastor. My father stood in the line. He had been driving Reverend Evans and he had been pastoring the youth. And Reverend Evans saw him in the line and said, Oh, no, son, you come here. You're going to be a pastor one day. I don't want you in the line. And my
Mm.
father said, But I don't mind being in the line. I'm not ashamed. I'm
Mm.
not ashamed. My wife and I have done everything that we can. And I am the head of my household. I'm going to feed my babies.
Right.
And so we look at this season maybe a little differently than others do. And we've seen so many miracles in this season. And one of them, quite frankly, is we're watching the restoration of our Father's health in a full way, in the fullest way we've seen in a long time. And so you're right, Jewel and Andre. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All praise be to his name. But I will tell you this, Reverend Mark Thompson. It came to me early Saturday morning, about 3 a.m. to be precise. I woke up, but I hadn't really been sleeping. I was just kind of bound up, and it came to me, you know not the day nor the hour. And Jesus himself said this in the Gospels of Mark and Matthew. And they continue to say, nor the angels, nor the Son. He said, me, I don't know, but only God knows. Ye know not the day nor the hour, nor the angels, nor the Son, only God. Remember that. So you keep on living until your end comes. You do not get pulled off of this earth until it is time for you to leave. I don't know what else the Lord has him to do, but I could see from the reaction to the prospect of him leaving this earth just how much he means to people and what his presence means because of his history of work and service. And so I want to thank you for your love and your prayers. So on behalf of my mother, my siblings, my father's brothers, uh, Tony and Noah, my uncles Noah and my aunt Loretta, my aunt Julie. It's been an unplanned family reunion, but boy, oh boy, it has been something wonderful. And it's been wonderful sharing this moment with you. It's been tough sometimes, but I tell you, tough times never last, but tough people do. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Schuler. And so let's get to it. And I'm so glad that Reverend Mark Thompson flew in. He ran over hill and dale. He's a little hyper, everyone. He jumped off a train and then caught a plane within the hour because he heard that he needed to get to Chicago. And he has been there. And on behalf of all of us, I want to thank my hyper beloved brother, Mark Thompson. You know you're hyper. No one's seeing that right here, but that's all right.
Well, okay. I'll accept that from you as my big sister by just days. But let me just say, we didn't know. We prayed for, everybody's looking for answers, y'all. Sometimes the only answer is prayer. Continue to pray for Reverend. I've been saying that to her. What's going? We'll just pray, because what has happened when I got off the plane, there was very serious concern, and it seemed grave. I can bear witness today. You get a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's this. I don't think this is it. I don't feel that the way we felt the other day. There's more to do, and I really believe that. And so I'm praying for that, and I'm claiming that. One, two. You're right. I was on a train, jumped off the train, went straight to the airport. Your father's been in my life since I was 16 years old. And that's not an easy thing to put aside or deal with matter of factly. He made a difference in terms of my education, my maturation, my understanding of politics and civil rights and struggle. I wasn't even 2 years old when Dr. King was taken, and my grandmother and mother were in the kitchen preparing dinner, and they told me I was playing on the kitchen floor when the news came across the television. And so I didn't have that appreciation, but I studied Dr. King, and then I studied your father. And so in January of 1984, I was it was still finishing high school in Nashville, came to Washington, D.C. to do an internship with Judge Hamilton of the D.C. Superior Court. Judge Eugene Hamilton, God rest his soul. And your father was having a rally at Shiloh. He hadn't announced yet,
Mm-hmm.
but
Oh, he'd
everybody,
already announced, but the campaign was just kicking up in January of '84.
no, but we were still saying, I remember vividly, unless it might have been 83, actually. It might have been
It was
83.
'83. Yeah.
It's been 83 years. Because I remember us vividly chanting then, Shiloh, run, Jesse, run.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Bible, the transfiguration, um, that happened to me. I was taken up watching that and being in that
Uh-huh.
euphoria. I had never seen nothing like that. I ascended, and the bug bit me, and it never went away. There was never a vaccine to cure me of that, and so no, I had to be here, and I'm gonna always be, and we all should be. We first met on Sesame Street, and here the man who had been on, who I was watching on Sesame Street was, and to be honest with you, just like you, Santita, what you just described, what your parents did, what our parents did, what our families did, they kept us from really knowing how bad things were. We didn't know. We didn't know we were broke sometimes, right? So when your dad said, I am somebody, for me, that was my introduction to say, well, why is he saying that? I I think I am. But it let me know that there were so many others unlike us who didn't know, who had been told they weren't anybody. And because some people have resiliency and tough times and it doesn't affect them, most people don't. And so it wasn't just him. It sounded like he was giving us a personal affirmation. I am somebody. What your father really did was teach us empathy. We were saying I am somebody. But what we were really saying to ourselves and what he was teaching us was that everyone is, and we need to make sure, even if we know it, everybody else knows it as well. See, it's one thing for me to do for me, but when he was saying, I got to work out here for others, I have to work for others to have what they deserve. So, this is, there's just no denying. There's never been a moment in my life when I wasn't a part of what he was doing, or he wasn't a part of what I was doing. Um, so I'm here. I'm glad to be here. And let me just say this, family. I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. You all have heard me on Santita show before. I'm gonna say it again. Every minute that Jesse Jackson spent, Reverend Jesse Jackson has spent with each of us in the community, local Chicago, around the country, around the world, was a moment away from his children and his family. They have shared him with us. So this is not a one-way street. They have made their own sacrifices by sharing their father with us. And so let's keep this family lifted in prayer. That's a lot of generosity. A whole lot of folk wouldn't do that. You're not going nowhere. You can't leave us. We just lost. Santi, I don't know if you noticed or not. I didn't know. Somebody told me, and I've got to reach out to the family. Mary, the eldest daughter of Viola Lauzo, has passed away. And remember,
No.
yes, she did. And she came to tell me every year.
What?
I'm so hurt. I didn't know she was sick.
Okay.
The point
Okay.
is, Viola was a housewife and a mother. And Viola said, I'm going to Selma. She said, I've got to
Mhm.
go. And I'll be honest with you, Mary said, that was traumatic for those children.
Absolutely.
But so folks, but that's what sometimes we've had to answer those calls. So when a father or a mother answers a call, inevitably the children and the spouses answer the call as well. That becomes a part of their ministry as well. And so you and your siblings, and God knows your mother, who always keeps me straight. And I don't mind. I go see mama just to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Well, that was
Um,
that was her. It was her role because
that's right.
our mother, number one, he was inspired by her activism in college,
That's
and
right.
so because you tend to struggle about the time that your a parent would spend away if you are needy. Our father fulfilled our needs. He
Yes.
has always been very present. Many people know that we traveled with him constantly.
Right.
I never knew a day when I could not speak with him. As I've talked to his secretaries down through the years, they said he would always say, "No, whatever you do, whenever my children or my wife calls, you always put them through. I don't care what I'm doing." And then he just had a line. We had literally had a line from the house to the office
Hmm.
to his desk. To
Hmm.
and so I've never felt that, oh, my father's not here. No, my father turned around at the airport my prom night. He had a big speaking engagement, big, which meant he could have paid the staff for a month. My father said, I'll just have to figure it out because I'm going to see my baby walk out this door in her gown. So, the thing is, we've been very blessed, and the blessing has been to be a blessing to others. And all I ask is that you do that. And particularly in this season, with so many have so little, share instead of having to chop that chicken up, put it in some
Mm,
broth or some water and season it and make a soup and share it.
mm, mm,
If you have
mm.
some extra cans, put it outside your door. Somebody might just pick it up and let them do it. Let's just be kind to each other and ask your pastor, ask your sorority and fraternity members, ask the people you know to come together and get some groceries for some people who need. There's so many people who are in need. And
That's
so
right.
if you would do that in his spirit, and
That's right.
thankfully he is still, please do that because there were a lot of rumors that were out. And I'm here to tell you, and you've seen me here through it all. And so there it is. And we've been blessed, and we've been blessed to have an unplanned reunion with a lot of people.
That's
But I
right.
thank God that, but we see Mark pretty often. So he's not someone we haven't seen in a long time. We see Mark often, and so we thank God for that. And we love you, Mark. And you know what? In the tradition of Reverend Jackson and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and so many people we know. Um, let's talk about this boycott because Latasha Brown from Black Voters Matter jumped on a plane and came in. She just came in so she could sing to Reverend. She wasn't even talking to him about voting or this campaign. He looked at her, he said, Latasha, sing. Sing. She said, okay, Reverend, because she's a
That's right.
great singer. Many people know that.
Right. That's
But so
right.
she and I, we commenced the singing. But there is the campaign. We ain't buying it.
We ain't bad.
And I need you to explain it. The letter goes like this. Thank you for your interest in We Ain't Buying It. And I want you all to consider this, everybody. Because Black Friday and the Black Friday moment is a gift to corporations so they can get on their feet. They're operating in the red throughout the year, but they
Right.
make their money off of us
That's right.
in this holiday season. And while they're making their money hand over fist, Reverend Thompson, they're making more money than ever before. They're not paying they're not paying their workers. Their workers are not reaping the dividends of their largesse. They are the boards of directors. Their investors are making the money. The people in the C-suites are making money, but not
That's
the
right.
workers.
That's right.
And in the meantime, Americans, people all around the world, but let's just stay right here for a minute. We are struggling, Reverend Thompson,
Mm,
struggling. And
mm.
so Latasha Brown and you and Black Voters Matter, and I would say Rainbow Push, we're talking about we ain't buying it. She says this holiday season, when 20% of annual retail sales occur, it's unbelievable that it happens in such a short period of time. We're using our collective power to speak the language corporations understand, our wallets. It's a coordinated weekend, November 27th through December 1st. It's a short period of time, everybody, led
Hmm.
by organizations, is led by you, everybody. And together, she says, we will highlight the corporations colluding with authoritarian power, withhold spending from major corporate retailers, redirect our resources to mutual aid, small businesses, and Black and immigrant owned enterprises, and show the social power of collective restraint. So, you talk to me because
Right.
what is we ain't buying it, and why is it crucial now? I mean, as you talk to your various audiences, because you're a great preacher, so you're in churches, but you're also in media. You've been on every radio station, so you have a vast audience. When you are talking to people and explaining to them why we should basically only shop within our neighborhoods, with women owned businesses, with Black owned businesses, with immigrant, in particular, these immigrant owned businesses. If you must buy anything, buy it from them for that short period of time. It's hard to believe, Reverend Thompson, that in that short window, they make all this money.
That
So,
that's
why is this
this
important?
Well, and let's be honest, where all the money is made up for the year. They catch up. And that's why, if you all notice, we used to see Christmas decorations at
Yes.
wait until after Thanksgiving. Now it's even earlier, because this is a big time. It's not because folk love Christmas, and it's not the real reason for the season. That's to get us in the frame of mind to buy, spend, spend, spend. Real quick, I want to remind everybody. You all have heard this before, but just to remind you, remember what the power of suggestion is. That's when we're all watching television, and then an Outback Steakhouse commercial comes on. We weren't hungry. But when Outback Steakhouse commercial comes on, we hungry all of a sudden, right? Give another example. How many of you? Most of us don't listen to music on the radio anymore. We have our own. We have these other Spotify and Apple things. Remember how we would listen to the radio and a song would come on. We didn't like it, but the radio
Mhm.
station kept the song in rotation. In a couple of weeks, we were singing the song. That's what the whole Christmas marketing thing is, and this pressure. I got to buy something for everybody. What Black Voters Matter and Until Freedom and Indivisible and other organizations, everybody's signing on as we speak. And yours truly and the Rainbow are saying is we ain't buying it. We want you to go, first of all, to weain'tbuyingit.com. It's real straightforward. This ain't complicated. Weain'tbuyingit.com. Let's show our economic power. Let's show the power of the purse as these corporations dump diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, nullify civil rights, even in hiring. Why should we give them our money? Now, watch this. People talking about the ballroom. It's privately funded. No, it's not. The money we spend in places like Target and on Amazon and Home Depot, that's just like paying our taxes to the government. It's still our money. They don't function. The government can't function without our tax dollars. Target, Home Depot, and Amazon can't function without our consumer dollars. You are paying taxes, you and me, at Target, Home Depot, and Amazon. Now, this isn't complicated. Very disciplined. November 27th to December 1st. Do not spend your money with them. Can we do that for those few days? Santita alluded to it. Montgomery bus boycott, people walk to work for 365 days straight in 1955. Marcus Garvey had enough discipline. He had 6 million people in one organization in the 1920s. You mean to tell me we can't prove that we can be disciplined from just during that window, November 27th to December 1st? I think we can do that, y'all, and send a very clear message. Because as some have said, we know the Target fast has been going on and it's had success. But I've had Black women who were the leaders of that. Black women spend the most money in Target. They said, we're not doing that. But what they've also said is, well, Brother Mark, I still got to get my laundry detergent. I'm going to go get it from Amazon. You see? So, one is as bad as the other. They all are in on it. And Lord knows
Together.
our
Are we?
own economic.
So, well, wait a minute, because you all are. We're looking at just what is it? It's like 3 big businesses that we're targeting, right?
Target, Amazon, Home Depot. So this is an
Why?
opportunity for people to take a break, because otherwise people have been fasting from Target. So you said, well, I'll go to Home Depot or Amazon to get my stuff. No, we're saying we're done with all 3 for this period of time. And let's see how far we go after that. And this period of time, again, as you said, Santita, is critical because this is the most important consumer season of the whole year. Whatever they didn't make from January to December, they got to make it now. That's why that's why Christmas is important. It's not because snow and candy canes and Santa Claus, or even for Jesus. Christmas is all over your television now because they've got to make their money for them and then underpay some of our relatives who work for them and not hire other relatives and loved ones of ours who were eligible to be hired and who deserve to be hired, not only because of their own merit, but because we need diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we still gonna keep giving these people our money? We still just gonna keep throwing our money that way? No. That is what weain'tbuyingit.com is saying. Try it on. Have you ever done this before? Have we ever tried before to be disciplined in terms of not giving those who exploit us our money, our consumer dollars, and our resources? That's another tax. So no, you're paying for the ballroom. Me, you, and Santita, we all of us paying for the ballroom because we spending money with the corporations that are building the gaudy, tacky, fake gold leaf ballroom. Y'all know where he bought the gold leaf that's all over everything? At Home Depot. Google it. That is Home Depot. It's 14 karat gold. No, it's not. It's Home Depot gold leaf, right? So what we're asking people to do, weain'tbuyingit.com. There's a toolkit there for you to post on your social media. Spend Christmas doing that. And let's do something else. Let's show how much we love one another. I didn't come to Chicago bringing uh, Santita gifts. She deserves it. But there's nothing more important than our presence with one another, than us having reunion, us sitting around telling stories, remembering our lives together and the things we've
Mhm.
accomplished with her father. That is a true gift. We can give anything at any time, throw stuff away, but it's material. It's material. Let's spend this holiday season giving love and joy and doing what Dr. King said, who said, true justice is love. True
Mhm.
love is justice, so that no one can go without. We just had people go hungry because of a shutdown. No SNAP benefits. Santita, I've been saying this to people. So as a teenager, I was raised politically by your father and by Marion Barry. That's where I learned politics, sitting at their feet and listening and understanding and learning. And
And
when it
let's, for people who don't know, Marion Barry was the mayor of Washington, D.C.
That's right.
And he came out of SNCC,
That's right. That's right.
and
That's
he
right.
completely changed the trajectory of Black Washingtonians who had been working in the government there.
That's right.
Um, he created the entrepreneurial class. He helped people to see that that little DC government had so much money buried in it, and you have a billionaire named Robert Johnson and Sheila Johnson,
That's right.
billionaires,
That's right.
because he gave them the opportunity. He gave them uh, that channel. So I just wanted to remind people, and he created an environment where Washington was our home for the campaigns, for the presidential campaigns,
That's right. That's
or
right. And
because Chicago was not necessarily friendly to us.
right,
He
right.
said, "Don't worry about it. Come here." And his top tier staff, Ivanhoe Donaldson, Anita Bonds, I can keep on going. He turned his top people over to the campaign,
That's right.
and they built it and ran it, and him too.
That's right.
So
That's right. And,
I
and
just have
and no,
to say
that's
that.
important, folks. People may not understand. We talk about SNAP. Children in school, in public school, who
Hmm.
get SNAP, whose families get SNAP at home, are eligible for free school breakfast and lunch. It would snow like the Dickens in DC, and for we got to close school. It's snowing. Mayor Marion Barry said, "Well, no, wait a minute. If we close the schools, these children, some of them, the only time they get something to eat is at school. And they have to put stuff in a napkin and put it in their backpack to take home to their little sisters and brothers. So I can't close school every time
Oh
y'all
my
see a
goodness!
snowflake fall because I got to feed." See, for a young person like me to witness that, because we kids, let's close the school. But
Please.
right, it pricked my consciousness. Wait a minute, this man ain't closing the
Hmm.
school because some of these kids don't have nothing to eat.
Hmm.
So, we have to think about that. And as you said, um, we have to check on our loved ones in this moment. People
Hmm.
should not be spending money when they just got their SNAP benefits restored. And there is no one under the sound of our voices who doesn't know someone who gets that benefit and who needs it. Not to mention the government work. Listen, y'all, people think federal government is just in Washington, D.C. That's not true. There are a million federal government workers around the country outside of D.C. Those families were getting paychecks. Whether they got SNAP or not, they didn't have any money to go get what they needed to get. So let's have love and justice and love working together. And just for these few days, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and the 1st, let's not spend our coins with people who don't love us. Let's stay together, withhold our money, put those few dollars together. And you know what, y'all? You can give somebody some cash for the holiday. Listen, fam, you need $100. Knock on your neighbor's door, especially if they're a senior. Make sure they have food. Make sure they have a ride, that they have money for gas. We ain't buying it means Target, Home Depot, Amazon, and we all Amazon centers because it's so convenient. They have a monopoly. We can't get if I need something tomorrow, I got to call Amazon. We all are just Amazon addicted and don't even
Well, wait a
realize it.
minute. Yeah, no, but you know what? Look, we were gamed into it because just if you go into a stores that I'm not going to call names that we used to be able to go to and get aspirin and
Right?
candy.
Can't do it.
The no, nothing's there, but you can go on your phone at the same time, Mark, and Amazon has everything you've been looking for.
That's right.
So I
That's
mean,
right.
they've just created a monopoly, or should I say, it's been created for them, right?
Right. 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 Right.
And so, would you
That's an
say
important
that this
term you just
campaign,
used.
yeah, I mean,
Monopoly. That's a legal term.
monopoly. So, do you think is this a pushback against that? Because I see an attack on this crony capitalism and this corporatism that's just consuming our lives. What do you say?
Of course, that's exactly what's going on, and it's a backdoor monopoly. Because if society is working the way it ought to, you'd have the likes of a Teddy Roosevelt saying, "Well, no, 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 you just ain't gonna monopolize everything. You can't get
Hmm.
anything. Let me say it the right way. You can't get nothing no more in immediacy without
Hmm.
Amazon. That is a monopoly. You go try to shop somewhere else, you can't find it. As a matter of fact, even the brand name stores, so to speak, they got to go through Amazon to get the stuff to you quicker. You can't go in a store and find anything anymore, just going in, grabbing it off the shelf. So that is a monopoly. And I'm gonna just say this, y'all. Look at the juxtaposition, the paradox. See, we wonder what should I do? This man and this woman want me to not go and buy stuff where I normally buy it every day. You can do it. You
Hmm.
know why? Because the man's wife is giving $1 million, $10 million a day to every HBCU she can, and not asking for her name to be put on no building. Talking about Mackenzie Scott. How
Hmm.
many Google her, y'all? How many much money has she given? So his opposite, they're not married anymore, is setting an example. You know what? I'm gonna take this money that we got and I'm gonna give it to HBCUs. And I'm a white woman. So if she can do that to show a contrast, a vivid contrast from what her ex-husband's company is doing, we can also show a contrast and keep our money to ourselves for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. 7 days, not 365. Like the Montgomery bus boycott said. A lot of us wouldn't have made it
Hmm.
today. If we did that today, some of us
Hmm.
wouldn't have made it. See, and back then,
But why do
y'all,
you think?
they didn't have Nikes and Hawks and Skechers like they got today. Folks was marching in the streets with high heel shoes on and
But why
hard
do what? Well,
shoes.
what makes them different? Help me to understand. I mean, what? Because they felt that urgency. Well, of course, this was Rosa Parks said to my father. He asked her, what made you not move that day?
Mm,
Now, mind you, they've been planning it and all of that, but in that moment, she could have moved to the back of the bus because she knew that by going to jail, she might not come out.
right.
She said, I thought of Emmett. When I thought of Emmett Till and I saw his face in my mind, I couldn't move.
Mm,
I couldn't move.
mm.
So, because we've had Trayvon's, we've had George Floyd's, we've had a whole lot of people since 1955. That was 70 years ago.
Mhm.
So my question is, who were they, and how can we get more of what they are? Because we need that introduced into our culture.
We were more close knit then, I believe. We were not only more close knit, we didn't have as many distractions as we have today. So folks, back in those days, and up until I left for high school, um, we we sat down at dinner tables, families.
Oh yeah.
We checked on and communicated with neighbors and borrowed a cup of sugar. Now none of us can sit down to dinner without looking through our phones. So and looking at those because we're overstimulated. I can't be present in the hospital with Santine and her family because I got to be checking my phone all the time. That's not right. That's not what I'm here for. I can stay in New York and check my phone. Why go out to dinner? So that is the difference. And so we're over stigmatized, overstimulated, so many distractions that I'm afraid that wouldn't be possible. We're gonna put it to test though. Can we do this? Let's just experiment on one another. Let's experiment on yourself. Can I really stop spending my money? Now I'm gonna say something I know is true. How many of you wake up every morning, every now and then, and say, you know what? I wonder if I can go one day without spending $1. I remember when we used to go a whole day, you didn't have to spend money every day. Now it is almost impossible, Santita, to go a
Oh,
whole 24 hours. When's the last time anybody, raise your hand, went 24 hours without spending $1? Right? Try it. Let's see if we can do it. And the satisfaction and the pile of stuff we spend money on, we don't need. We don't need it. We don't need it every day. Most of us are hoarding stuff. It's convenient now. Get everything on Amazon, get it in advance, fill up the cupboard, fill up the cabinets, and we covered for the holidays and the winter. No, stop it. Let's be disciplined. We invite you to go to weaintbuyingit.com, read all about it. Amazon is practically a monopoly. Target has rolled back their DEI initiatives. Home Depot is allowing ICE agents to illegally detain and kidnap laborers from their stores. See, you understand now. Y'all need to watch what's going on. When you go to Home Depot, you see
why
them
should we
brothers.
be concerned about that? Why? Because I mean, I think up
Right.
until they had that big raid in Chicago in the middle of the black community, some black people said, "This doesn't. They're not looking for me." 20% of the of the black immigrant population of the immigrant population in Chicago, they're African descent.
Right.
And now
And
they're just coming after people. They're coming after white people who are protesting them. They're just coming after everybody, Mark.
yeah, it's fascism. Your father gave his life for democracy, to democracy. We need to combat fascism with democracy. We need to replace fascism with democracy. And like Dr. Welsing, Francis Chris Welsing, another Chicagoan said, we have to replace white supremacy with justice. So this is why it's important. And at the end of the day, those individuals, those day workers who you see lined up outside Home Depot, some of whom are Spanish speaking, but who still look like us. See, a lot of us went there first before we came up here.
Mm.
See, we've been taught in the past 30 years that we're so different. But Santita, when the Pittsburgh Pirates, in 1971, fielded the first all-black team,
Um,
all right, 6 or 7 of those brothers came from the Caribbean and Latin America.
yes.
They changed the language. The first all African American / Latino team. Why y'all changing? Google Roberto Clemente, who said, "I'm a black
Hmm.
man from Puerto Rico." People don't realize this. Dr. King, Roberto Clemente, before he died, brought Dr. King, before they both died, to Puerto Rico to see his farm. Dr. King took a trip to Puerto Rico to see Roberto Clemente's farm. It wasn't a black man and a Latino. It was 2 black men, one who just happened to speak fluent Spanish, right? And the brothers being picked up, the day workers in front of the Home Depot, they're realizing it now. But see, they've been taught of late. Big Papi played for the Boston Red Sox. Don't associate with those black people. Because because now they've started to divide immigrant. There's acceptable immigrants now, like JD Vance's wife, or people who are from India, and he trying to get rid of her. That's a whole nother conversation. But these are
Why are
the
you dropping
reasons.
bomb on my show? What are you
I'm
doing?
sorry. You want me to stop? I'm gonna stop. You want me to stop?
See what happened? See, as soon as you did that, we went dark for a minute. See?
I broke
See?
the TV, y'all. I broke the TV.
For the listening audience, everything went dark as soon as he talked about J.D. Vance's wife, Second Lady Usha. Leave her alone. But
Okay,
no,
I'm
wait
sorry.
a minute. You leave her alone, Vice President, because she doesn't need to be Christian. She's Hindu, and that's just all. That's fine. I'm like, well, what's the
And
problem?
you want to be Catholic and go back to Latin Mass, and you don't even know Latin.
Oh,
That's the reason for
okay.
that. You want to go back to the Latin Mass when people didn't even understand what was said in the Latin Mass, and that in of itself was exclusive. There's a reason why they did away with the Latin Mass, y'all, because folks were just sitting in not understanding what was saying. It was exclusive. It was meant for hierarchy and hierarchical people. The mass, even everybody understood what Jesus said. He went out there talking. Jesus talking about, he's speaking Chinese. He spoke in the language of the people he was serving. So there we are.
Okay.
Did I break your
So,
TV?
so wait a minute. So this
I broke your TV, y'all.
so this in so this boycott is we have to, if we're going to make the system fair, we have to speak the language of the system, which is money. Is that what you're
Right,
saying?
right. We have to speak that language. And it's also an opportunity to educate ourselves as to what the power our money has. We're not
Mm.
helpless. Again, when we talk about the ballroom, people say, "Oh, it's okay, it's private donations." That's still your money. Amazon, if you don't spend money with Amazon, Amazon don't have no money. They don't have. They're not printing money.
Yeah.
Target's not printing money. Home Depot's not printing money, y'all. That's your money that you are giving them to build a ballroom and do the other stuff that they're doing. We ain't buying it.com, y'all. Really, and listen, folks, under the sound of our voices, go to the website, read about it, acknowledge the power you have. That's the power we have, and we need to exercise it in every way. I'm sorry I broke your camera.
You know, n-
It might be because
no,
I'm funny.
no, no, you did, but that's all right. We love you. No,
It might,
you sitting up there being
might
controversial.
it might be because I'm funny.
But
I've broken cameras before. They tried to take pictures of me.
look, just saying all these things. But I think that we have to understand what power is, but we also, I believe, Reverend Thompson, makeitplain.com, make it plain, make it plain. I think we need to really figure out the ask because even as we're fighting for ACA, we need to be fighting for Medicare for all.
That's
I
right.
mean, really, because ACA is nice, but it's not nearly enough. I mean, how we I think we need to understand that truly we are somebody and we deserve. I mean, these Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, all of these people became among the world's richest persons from the U.S. government, which is us. That
That's
they
right.
make their money off of the people, but then they want to deny people benefits. They want to take a
Yes.
hacksaw to the federal government because there's nothing but waste. I'm like my friend. Every time you send every other rocket you send to space, there's a problem. So what are you talking about?
That's right.
So what kind of impact? It seems that more and more people are beginning to sign on because I've talked to people who've been going into stores, and they're like, you know what? Uh, the shelves are full, and people are not shopping the way they used to. I know that they can't, but do you think that people are in the mood to protest, to
Yes.
demonstrate their why?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that. I look at what happened on election day, the enthusiasm. People made up for shortcomings in November of 2024 enthusiastically. All right. And we've seen that before. We have to be clear. Our side, and when I say our side, those who tend to vote Democratic, whether they're progressive or far left or all across that spectrum, which is a bigger tent than the other side. The other side represents pretty much one demographic. You know, I had a listener call into my show 2 weeks ago before the election and said, Mark, that's our problem. The Democratic people who vote Democratic, the tent is too big and we can't get along. The election proved how far we've come and why it's possible to do what you're asking, Santita, what we're asking, that people get involved and protest and do things. And let me explain this way. As big as the tent was, the tent came together on election day 2025. And that's evidenced. You could not have more disparate personality types running for office. You had a Zoran Mamdani in New York, where I live, and you had a Mikey Shell and Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, who some criticized that they were too middle of the road, too moderate, didn't really. But it goes to show you that all of our constituency said we can support the guy with the big personality and charisma, but we can also support people who don't have that. A lot of times we want everybody to come out of central casting, and that's just not going to be. And that the reason that's not good is that we do want regular everyday folk. Everybody can't speak like Barack Obama and Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King, and that's okay. Irregular everyday people should aspire to office and to serve in that way. So that's number one. The fact that happened in that diversity, in that diverse, oversized tent is a good thing. The second thing is that people being enthusiastic in terms of turning out and making up more people who voted for Kamala Harris in those demographics, including Black women and Black men, voted more percentage-wise for Abigail Spanberger in Virginia and Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey. That's a good thing. It shows we're getting back involved. The third thing I'll say that shows already, we've always had moderate yellow dog Democrats sell us out the way the 8 did under the leadership of Jeanne Shaheen on that Sunday in the shutdown. Cut a deal. Normally, in the past, Santita, it was only those of us who slept, ate, and drank politics who would raise hell about that and hold accountable. But everyday average voters have risen to a level of sophistication. They said, wait a minute, this is wrong. And they rebuked it. And so people are becoming more sophisticated and fed up in this era of the man who's Mr. Fascist himself, who's building ballrooms, tearing down buildings, doing whatever in the world he wants to do. More people are enthusiastic. So I read that as an ability and a will to act, to move. Now, we got to organize it, though, because a lot of times, again, our side, those of us on this spectrum opposite the right, we vote and we get euphoric, and then we go to sleep until the next election. If we wake up in time for the next one. This is Montgomery bus boycott. This is the theme. When everybody take a theme from today, Santita started. She didn't know I was going to take it. Montgomery bus boycott, discipline, 360, maybe 367 days, nonstop. I'm not riding the bus. Changed the world. We're asking for 7-8 days, not 365. And what the beauty of it is, we don't need to do 365. I mean, you all keep going if you want to. Some of us still pass by the Shell gas station because of apartheid. We never stopped. I can't buy Shell. Some of us cannot go back and pull the car and put the Shell pump in the car. This is what we can do now. And the reason in this short targeted time frame is important is because this is when they make their money. Y'all, January, February, March, April, Father's Day don't matter. I'm going to get something for Daddy from Home Depot for Father's Day. Don't mean as much. Doesn't put a dent in that red the way Black Friday up through Cyber Monday does. Don't do it. We ain't buying it.com. And you feel better about yourself. You feel better. You feel empowered. You feel like I made a contribution. I did something. And you'll realize the real reason for the season is to help others. Jesus was born. This is supposed to be his birthday. Y'all know that, right? This ain't supposed to be Santa Claus and all this other stuff. And Krampus. That really ain't what this is supposed to be about. This is supposed to be about someone who lived a life for others, who visited the sick, who protected the immigrant, who fed the hungry and clothed the naked, and visited ye in prison. right? That's what. Remember that now, because you think we forget. We all go to church sometimes, and then we forget it because it's just routine. This cannot be routine. Let's switch it up. Let's do. Dick Gregory used to beg us to boycott Christmas. We didn't do it. We didn't listen. But we're gonna boycott Black Friday all the way up to Cyber Monday,
Mm-hmm.
November 27th to December 1st. Please, man, please, sir, go to We Ain't Buying It. Not we not, we aren't. We talking like we talk. We ain't buying it.com. All right? Do it for yourself. Do it for your families. Teach your children. Teach your loved ones. Don't order no paper towels. Got enough paper towels in the house. Everybody got a paper towel. We can sometimes we don't have food. We got a paper towel. No, take a break from buying those paper towels on Amazon and all those other places. Going in the Home Depot. You don't need to rebuild nothing. And I mean, yeah, just keep it to. I was gonna say something else about the tacky gold leaf again, but I already said that he got from Home Depot. Laura Ingraham walking around the White House said it looks like. Even she said it. President Trump, that looks like a Home Depot leaf. No, this is 14 karat gold. It's real thing. And then somebody took a picture of it and then put it right side by side on TikTok next to what's in the Home Depot. Got that tacky stuff all up over the the White House and just crazy. So, folks, don't do it.
So he's buying American?
I don't know where that stuff is made. That's a good question.
Honey,
That's
I'm trying to get over people not coming up with the money for SNAP. I just
yes,
don't get it.
yeah. And see what those 8 sellout Democrats did was made a choice between health care and hunger, and that's not a choice.
Mhm.
Both the people deserve both. Ober Hendricks couldn't get here, but he was so pleased. He talked to your father on FaceTime the other day. God bless Ober Hendricks. The Politics of Jesus, his seminal work, the book, y'all read it. He said Jesus treated the people's
Mm,
needs as holy.
mm. Holy, holy,
Y'all think wearing fancy robes and just
holy.
getting communion and shouting is holy. He said, no, no, no. Jesus thought the people's needs,
We're
believed the
holy.
people's needs were holy. So when Caesar wanted everybody to call him daddy, El Senor, or father, Jesus said, Our Father. That's a political prayer. We repeat the Our Father wrote, because we just know about Our Father who art in heaven. We don't even listen to the word.
Hmm.
Our Father, no, you our Father, not Caesar. Our Father who art in heaven, not the one down here on earth pretending to be our Father. He's talking about Caesar. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, not Caesar's. Your kingdom come, O Lord, not Caesar's kingdom. Your will be done, not Caesar's, O Lord, as it is in heaven on earth. Bring heaven here. Bob
Hmm.
Marley picked that up. The apostle and Christ himself, Bob Marley. Heaven is here on earth, right? Then he says, because Caesar was rationing food, snap. Give us this day. That's snap. Jesus is talking about, God, these folks down here, Caesar ain't giving people enough to eat. Give us this day our daily bread. All right, forgive us our trespasses. He was talking about debt. He had people in debt, slavery, not feeding them. It wasn't just forgive us from acting ugly toward one another. No, it was specific. Forgive us our debts as we forgive the debtors. These are the people who are coming for our money, taking stuff from us. And we all in debt with these consumer credit cards. We're in debt to Home Depot, Target, and Amazon. You
Oh,
know it. Still paying off stuff. That's a debt. Forgive us these debts that we have, as Santita said, been manipulated in through this monopoly. Notice those words sound it sounds the same. Manipulate, monopoly. Monopoly, manipulate. All right. Forgive us our debt as we forgive our debt, and deliver us from evil, from the evil of selling out. That's what Jesus is talking about. He's trying to make us sell out to him and make him our father. Deliver us from evil, from selling out like those Democrats did, cutting the deal. No promise of the Affordable Care Act, which again is a floor. I learned this from Cliff Albright's lovely wife, attorney April Albright. Santita, some things are floors, not ceilings. Affordable Care Act is a floor.
hmm.
Rights Act was a floor. Voting Rights Act was a floor. DEI was a floor,
Hmm.
not a ceiling. That's just the floor. We got to keep going up. We got to keep rising up. And that's what that was. And so Jesus is saying this political prayer, and don't ever listen to the Our Father the same way again. Forgive us our debt as we forgive our debt. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, not him, the power and the glory. Our real Father in heaven. He said, our Jesus. See, Santina doesn't say her Father is our Father, even though he is. She naturally says, that's my Father. Jesus' Father was God. So Jesus to say, my Father who sent me here, God in heaven, is everybody's Father. In the same way Reverend Jackson has been a father to all of us. There we are, y'all. WeAin'tBuyingIt.com. I know I talked up Storm, broke the camera. I'm not going to be invited back.
That's all. Oh, get out of here. That means he wants to be invited back when he has time, which he never has. He can come back anytime. He knows that. I'm not even thinking about Mark, but you know what? We love Mark, and I love this ministry. I'm glad that you've accepted the call, and that you help this. That you really help the word. You put flesh on these bones. You make the word come alive. Because Jesus was someone who came here to set the captive free in your heart, in your mind. In fact, our Father, that means we're all sisters and brothers. We are all one. And we're thought away from making heaven right here on earth. We need to create a floor beneath which no one should fall. And you need to shake up the kingdom, everybody. So we ain't buying it. You can do that November 27th through December 1st. Get what you can right now, and let's just start saving. And start sharing. How about that?
Yeah.
As Mark said, we used to get a cup of sugar. If you ran out, you got it from your neighbor. We used to get a bucket of chicken. Now everybody gets an individual meal. No, get the bucket.
And we used to have rent parties, y'all. We don't even do that for each other. We used to have rent parties.
And we used to live together. And when people moved to this country, they lived together in one dwelling, one apartment, one house, one trailer, until we can get on our feet. Not me can get on my feet, but we can get on our feet. Amen. And the American project is not going to work unless we are okay. Not me is okay. We must be okay. Amen. We ain't buying it. November 27th through December 1st. WeAin'tBuyingIt.com. Go on and find out how to be a part of that. And what is John said, thank you. Thank you. And so let me ask you this. How can they get in touch with you? People want to know that, Reverend Mark.
MakeItPlain.com. Go to the website. You can find me there. Please subscribe to the podcast. You can always find me. And I won't be far.
Okay.
.com. We imagine you go to MakeItPlain.com.
MakeItPlain.com.
And go to WeAin'tBuyingIt.com.
Okay. I love my Reverend Mark Thompson. I love you, love you, love you. See you in a little bit.
We're praying for you. Continue to pray for Reverend Jackson, y'all. He's been a star.
Well, you know what? It just made the news that he has been moved out of intensive care, which happened yesterday. And so we thank God for all of it, everybody. We thank God for all of it. And I thank God for this trial. I thank God for this moment. It's made me even more appreciative of my father, my mother, my siblings, my friends, my family of friends. I'm more and more appreciative. And so, God, I thank you, especially now.
Amen.
Especially now.
Thank you.
Especially now. I count it all joy. I cannot cherry pick a thing. I've got to take it all. And I thank you for it all. I thank you for every trial.
Yes,
if I never had a problem, I'd never know God could solve them. I'd never know what faith in God could do. Through it all, I've learned to trust in him. I've learned to trust in God. And through it all, I've learned to depend upon his word. Thank you, Andre Crouch. I love you all so much. Amen, amen, and amen. We're going to be talking about the militarization of our cities. Oh boy, with Hannah Homestead from the Institute for Policy Studies. They're moving into a non-border state, Charlotte, North Carolina. They're looking at Chicago. They said, we're following your example. We want y'all out of here. We're going to talk about that just in a few hours. And stay right here on the Santita Jackson Show, AM 950 Radio, sending you much love, everybody. God bless you.